not every day that a bomb squad visits MSU's campus. I'm Annie Johnson, and I'll have more for you coming up.
Belgrade taxpayers will decide how they want the city to provide fire protection and emergency services with their mail-in ballots. Coming up, I'll let you know what a vote yes means and a vote no.
The Department of Environmental Quality will be holding public hearings here in Butte to talk about the cleanup of one of its most contaminated sites.
Well, our reporting crew from border to border here in Southwest Montana covering it.
Yeah,
we're here and we're able to do that.
Yeah,
the three of us are here
awesome.
as well. Chet Lehman, Caitlin Corbett, Matt Elwell.
We're still here.
And we're inside, which is much nicer than
some
it is
of you
outside.
will be for the rest of the morning.
Yes, we will.
We'll check out the patio for you here in a moment.
No, we won't.
I'll lock the door on my way out. That's what's going to happen. And you'll want to bring your coat on the way out this morning. Temperatures are frigid across the area. 5 below in Butte, 9 below in West Yellowstone. 15 in Belgrade. We've had the wind chill down into the single digits in the Bozeman, Belgrade area at times. Not a lot of wind, but enough that our temperatures are going to feel cool. You can see the feels like temperature right now in Bozeman around 6 degrees. That's with a 6-mile-an-hour wind. It is cold outside, bottom line, so make sure the gloves are in the backpack for the kids as they're heading out, or at least try to get them on the kids' hands. It usually doesn't work out the way that you want.
No.
But our temperatures do show signs of warming up, at least for the rest of the week. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. 631, an unusual story topping headlines this half hour. Police and bomb squads were called out yesterday to a parking lot at Montana State University.
MTN's Annie Johnson was at the scene and has all the details for us.
Yes, I've been here on campus for several hours now, and when I got to campus, the first thing I saw was this yellow police caution tape. Caution tape, warning students to stay away from an area where campus police and bomb squad officials were investigating.
It's basically a shipment of landmines that were sold as inert novelty items across the country. And the concern is not that they contain actually high explosive, but that certain elements of the item itself, the device, particularly the fusing system, may still be intact. That still poses a danger.
And to get rid of the threat, bomb squad members located the landmine in the student's car, x-rayed the device, and removed it from campus.
Announced that the device was as expected. It was not rigged to explode, nor did it have any explosive devices in it.
Law officials say they never thought it was an actual bomb, but they were going to treat it with as much caution as possible regardless.
We did err on the side of caution, but we believe it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, we want to make sure that in terms of us doing a due diligence, that if somebody reports that, hey, this is not dangerous, this is not set up to cause harm to anybody, we'll take that as information and still want to verify it.
And law enforcement was able to verify that the student simply bought the device off the internet and had no bad intentions with it. The parking lot and surrounding area was roped off for about 7 hours. Law officials say that students here at MSU were never in any type of danger, and the student who the device belonged to did not do anything illegal. Reporting at MSU, Annie Johnson, MTN News.
Time now 6:32. Kind of a shocking story here. A man's body was found in the back of a Billings City garbage truck mixed in with the trash yesterday.
Yeah, detectives were on the scene for about 5 hours investigating this. This is not the first time a death has been associated with a Billings City garbage truck. Back in 2009, a 22-year-old man was thrown into a garbage truck while sleeping in a dumpster behind the McDonald's. That man was killed in the garbage truck's compactor.
Wow. Voters in Belgrade got a ballot in the mail on February 12th, and that ballot has only one question.
That's true. Question is if Belgrade should join the Central Valley Fire District. MTN's Gabby Crevitt tells us what that means for the future of Belgrade's fire and emergency services.
With ongoing 2020 census efforts, Belgrade's population is expected to hit 10,000. And that means under state law, the city is no longer able to contract with the Central Valley Fire District. Now Belgrade voters must decide.
The question is, would you like to annex Belgrade into the Central Valley Fire District? Yes or no?
Put simply, a vote yes means the city of Belgrade will continue receiving fire protection and emergency services from the Central Valley Fire District. And a vote no requires Belgrade to make its own separate fire department, which comes with a large price tag.
A no vote would mean that voters would then face a tax question later to fund a full-time paid professional fire department that is separate from Central Valley.
According to the city of Belgrade, This would cost the taxpayer around $63 per month on a home with a $200,000 tax value.
A yes vote is a yes to annex into the fire district, and therefore the cost to the taxpayers, to the residents of the city of Belgrade, would remain comparable to what they are now.
This would be about 5 times cheaper than the alternative option, meaning around $13.75 a month for a home with a $200,000 tax value.
It's a very fiscal responsibility issue, and what's the best bang for your buck, so to say.
Ballots are due by March 3rd, and Belgrade's city manager as well as Central Valley's fire chief are happy to answer any questions about the ballot. Reporting in Belgrade, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
Shifting gears here just a bit at 6:35, a man was charged in Butte yesterday with felony vehicular homicide in connection with a fatal crash that happened almost 4 years ago.
Lawrence Carlisle is accused of crashing a vehicle he was driving while drunk on Interstate 90 west of Butte back in April of 2016. His passenger, Cody McCowan of Anaconda, died in the accident. Carlisle's bond was set at $100,000.
In other court news, a Bozeman man arrested after walking into a coffee shop, pointing an object at an employee and yelling at customers to put their hands in the air.
38-year-old Clayton Richard Russell appeared in Gallatin County Justice Court yesterday on a felony charge of assault with a weapon. Court documents say around 8 a.m. on Friday, staff at the Daily Coffee Eatery on Rouse Avenue reported that a man had pointed a gun at an employee.
Now, officers located Russell later, took him to the Law and Justice Center. Russell told the officers he was trying to, quote, get shock value, end quote, by mimicking a comedian sketch he had seen, and pointed a magnet at the employees, telling her to give him all her money. Russell's bail set at $100,000.
The Department of Environmental Quality wants to hear from Butte residents when it comes to cleaning up the old pole plant.
MTN's John Amy tells us this nearly 40-acre area has been highly contaminated for years.
The 37-acre Montana pole plant site, located on the west side of Butte, will finally get a cleanup. Closed down since 1984, the area has been contaminated by the chemicals that were used as preservatives for the wooden posts and poles in the 40 years of its operation.
And those chemicals are extremely toxic to human health, so we take this quite seriously.
Cleanup will include a 9-acre landfill on the site, and it will be capped so the chemicals can't escape the area. The rest of the area will be zoned as light industrial commercial for future development. The pole plant had a history of environmental issues just before it shut down.
There was a complaint lodged for an oily substance leaking into Silverboat Creek. It was investigated by DEQ and EPA. EPA responded with emergency cleanups.
The DEQ says this is a very significant moment because this is the first phase of a project that will finally clean up a very contaminated site.
It'll take one construction season basically to complete everything that we would like to do for the south side.
In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
John tells us one public hearing was held last evening. There will be another public meeting scheduled for February 29th.
A little bit of health news now. A new trend we're seeing in healthcare is tackling two big problems.
Yeah, those problems, convenience and cost.
No one wants to be in a hospital. No one wants to be in a rehab center. And again, if we'll be able to provide better healthcare in the comfort of people's home, we'll be able to drive costs down.
That, by the way, the CEO of XR Health. It's a new virtual reality telemedicine company. They're using VR to bring doctors into your home. Patients do need a VR set, or says VR trains the brain to cope better with certain conditions.
After 20 seconds of use, you can see range of motion, response time, smoothness of the motion, peak velocity, differences between right side, left side, all the cognitive skills that today is very hard to measure.
And Orr uses VR to treat his chronic whiplash from when he was a fighter pilot. VR therapeutic care can be used for chronic pain, stroke rehab, hot flashes, and memory decline. Right now, XR Health is available in 9 states and Washington, D.C. The company expects to be nationwide by the end of the year.
Super cool use for high tech.
That is really cool.
6:39 now, back here in the Treasure State. Butte's movie theater inside the Plaza Mall will reopen under new ownership in March.
I think that's certainly good news in Butte. A news release from Golden Ticket Cinemas says the company will take over the Cinema 6 movies in Butte's Plaza Mall next month. Last week, AMC announced it was pulling out and its last day would be tomorrow. Golden Ticket says it plans to upgrade the Butte Theater, including luxury reclining seating.
As you mentioned, good news for Butte.
Yeah.
We'll be able to get that back in action here soon, hopefully.
I saw a lot of viewers and people who were upset kind of that the movie theater that had been there for so long was leaving.
And it sounds like they have some reclamation plans for the building and bringing it back up and all of that too. So.
And I'll tell you, those reclining seats are really nice because
comfy.
movie theaters with
like
those are
too.
great. You can sit back, watch a movie.
I like it too, a little
Nothing
chill.
better.
Yep.
Well, when we come back on Montana this morning, a 2-week quarantine on a cruise ship finally comes to an end. That's up next, but here's what's ahead on CBS This Morning.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS This Morning, for the first time, Michael Bloomberg will face off in person with other Democratic presidential candidates. We're in Las Vegas with what to expect in tonight's debate. Plus, NASCAR driver Ryan Newman. We've got great news this morning. He is awake and he is talking after this horrifying crash at the Daytona 500. How in the world did he survive this? We'll take you inside a race car to show you the measures being taken to keep the drivers safe. And teaching Black history is February, as you know, is Black History Month. CBS News investigates how children's textbooks may have misleading information about slavery and civil rights. That's not good. We'll see you at 7 o'clock, top of the hour.